The United States has vetoed an Arab-backed and widely supported UN resolution demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. The vote Tuesday in the 15-member Security Council was 13-1, with Britain abstaining. It was the third U.S. veto of a Security Council resolution demanding a ceasefire. On the second day of hearings at the International Court of Justice, also known as the World Court, South Africa on Tuesday asked for a non-binding legal opinion. The Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories is illegal. Reuters correspondent David Doyle has more.
On Monday, Palestinian representatives asked the ICJ, the UN's highest court, to declare Israel's occupation of their territory illegal. The court's advisory opinion, they said, could contribute to a two-state solution and a lasting peace. Israel is not attending the hearings. It did, however, send a written statement saying an advisory opinion would be harmful to achieving a negotiated settlement. This hearing follows a request by the UN General Assembly in 2022 for an advisory or non-binding opinion on the occupation.
Reuters correspondent David Doyle. Thousands of farmers on Tuesday filled Athens' streets in a show of support to demand more measures by the government to fight high production costs. Tractors were parked in front of Parliament after protesters arrived from across the country and from the islands in a tractor convoy by bus or by boat. Police looked on during the noisy but otherwise peaceful protests, which government officials said included 150 tractors. The Athens action follows weeks of protests over rising production costs, foreign competition, and losses from climate change. This is VOA News. Julian Assange's lawyers have begun their final British legal challenge to stop the WikiLeaks founder from being sent to the United States to face spying charges. They argued in London's High Court on Tuesday his actions had exposed serious criminal actions by U.S. authorities and were of obvious and important public interest. The 52-year-old has been fighting extradition for more than a decade and has spent the last 5 years in a high-security prison. Supporters worry he could be put on a plane to the U.S. before that happens, or if the judges rule against Assange, he can ask the European Court of Human Rights to block his extradition. Assange wasn't in court. His lawyers say he is unwell. Ukraine's president says delays in weapons deliveries from the U.S. and other allies is making life very difficult on the front lines. AP correspondent Sagar Magani reports.
Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's taking advantage, including by capturing a strategic eastern city over the weekend. It's the kind of thing the White House says it's warned Congress about if it failed to approve more aid for Ukraine.
And here you go.
National Security spokesman John Kirby.
The Ukrainian troops on the battlefront are literally running out of ammunition,
while being forced to give up defensive positions and make impossible decisions.
Whether they're going to fire this or fire that and who they're going to shoot at.
More help is heading to Ukraine, with Sweden announcing its biggest aid package yet, and Canada saying it will speed up delivery of hundreds more drones. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The Kremlin has rejected claims by the widow of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny that her husband was killed by Vladimir Putin. AP correspondent Karen Chamas reports.
Putin's spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, rejected the charges of Yulia Navalnaya, calling them insolent and unfounded. In the video released a day earlier, Navalnaya also said that officials' refusal to hand over his body to his mother was part of a cover-up. She suggested her husband might have been killed with a Novichok-style nerve agent. I'm Karen Chamas.
Prosecutors in the U.S. state of Missouri say 2 men have been charged with murder in last week's shooting that killed 1 person and injured 22 others after the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Both adults are charged with second-degree murder and other charges. The new charges come after 2 juveniles were detained last week on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. Police have said a dispute among several people led to the shooting.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.